Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. We are back once again, like the Renegade Masters. It is the third and long podcast, Thursday edition. The first Sunday we are approaching without football, well, without proper football, since September. It's going to be a weird one. My name's Shane Harris. Above me is our beautiful baby Hope. To my left is a teacher extraordinaire and apparent Detroit Lions fan, Mr. Philip Perrins. And in the top corner there, Mr. Oliver Butler Henderson. Gentlemen, how are we feeling on this, all right, Thursday evening?
Could be worse.
So, me and Phil were having a conversation about the conference championships t-shirts earlier, and I was just thinking how Ollie and Shane just didn't really know what we were talking about, did they, Phil?
No, it's very true, because we were having a chat off air where he talks about how we're very hesitant on buying a new jersey with the Super Bowl logo on. Because we don't want to jinx it, and I'll buy it after Brock Purdy wins MVP and we win the Super Bowl. And then we said the t-shirt that I fancy, because you could have pre-ordered it, I think it was on Tuesday on NFL Europe, which was the NFC Championship shirt, because the champions of the NFC and the champions of the AFC are both Super Bowl bound, and they were releasing a t-shirt, and we were saying about did we like it? Did we like the 49ers one? And then we turned our attention to Shane, and we asked Shane if he liked his.
Boys, I know I'm supposed to be an impartial broadcast journalist and just cover all football, be it college or pros, but I will tell you one thing that is absolutely true right now. If the Niners were playing the Chiefs in my back garden, I would close the curtains.
Yeah, and then you fire up your Madden, mate, and then you have the Texans beat you by 2 points on rookie.
No, they didn't. It was the Bengals. That's not the point. I'm not that good, all right? I'm trying.
He beat the Texans, then lost to the Bengals by 2 points.
He did.
On rookie.
Effing Joe Burrow. But I digress. Anyway, boys, what's going on? How's your Thursday treat now?
That's how it is when you have a proper QB, not one that just runs.
Well, like I said,
you can have a game manager.
I've got America's hero and the center at the moment. Gardner Minshew, brother, and he is, honest to God, he's like Jameis Winston. It's like he owned his own bakery and he's chucking turnovers away for free.
If you think about how good Michael Vick was on Madden 07, Lamar will probably be pretty good.
Lamar was 2 years ago. He was a cheat code. Honest to God, he was a cheat code on there.
Yeah,
but I digress. Let's talk about non-gamers out there.
We said McCaffrey in real life who's a cheat code, because we all know CMC stands for cheat mother code.
A swing and a miss by Baby Hope. Anyway, gentlemen, what's going on? Oh, what have we got on the agenda this week?
I'm trying to work out where he's getting the full letter from.
No, CMC.
Is it his middle name?
CMC. Cheat mother is all one word. Code.
Ah, I see what you're saying. You can't say fuck up before 9 o'clock.
Yeah, whatever. I am ecstatic because I'm 2 weeks away from starting a new job, which is brilliant.
Yeah, boy.
I'm also still recovering from the shock of the Formula One news that we got earlier on, but that was blown out of proportion. But yeah, should we talk about our sport?
Yes.
Us wonderful four people, Free and Phil, talk about on a weekly basis. Is he on mute?
No, he's too busy yawning. He's a hard day, love him.
I have had a hard day, thank you very much.
Mate, you've only got a week left in this half term.
2 weeks?
When do you half term?
It's okay. He's only got, what is it now? 5 days, Phil, until we go on a third and long on tour out then. Oh, wait, boy, I can't wait.
You
guys put
should
pictures on our socials. You'll behave, maybe.
I was saying you should live stream on socials.
I think we could,
Oh, God.
I'd be drunk,
It's true. It's true. It's going to be really fun. I'm genuinely looking forward to it. I still haven't listened to any of those songs yet, mate, but I might just vibe. I might just vibe.
Man, come on,
I'm a man that just vibe. I know, mate. I know.
Beast in Black, Glory Hammer, and Brothers of Metal in London. I'm terrified of London, traveling back. I am terrified, but I'll be all right.
So this tour all came about in terms of your favorite band are playing in London. You don't know London particularly well. You're a little bit anxious and nervous about going there. You're going, oh, Phil, where is this insert band playing? Like, what's the location? And I told him. He went, "Oh, do you want to come with us? Because, you know, I don't want to get lost." I went, "Yeah, it seems quite fun." So I'm going to dart from school. I might even just get changed. Actually, I might just go to school and like my eyeliner and my nail varnish, like, and just check out the vibe.
They expected of you at this point, I imagine. Surprised you haven't.
Well, I've got my nail varnish on my desk, right? And like, I'll have to take a picture of my desk for our social. But I've got my nail varnish on my desk, my coffee machine on my desk. I've still got my hair. For anyone who's watching live, I've literally still got my school hair in. And you know, I might literally just wear my school uniform, mate, to come to the gig.
So
like I said, but we can buy a T-shirt for you down here. It's fine.
Where in London are they playing? Where in London are they playing?
O2 Kentish Town. No idea where it is. Never been there before.
That's
Sorry,
where,
mate,
Nothing But Thieves played last night.
Did they really?
Radio X. Yeah. So people who are not watching, imagine Professor Snape in a Lions jersey. Then you got Phil.
But with the charisma of Tim Curry from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Nice.
Right. Let's talk about football.
I was going to say, with nearly 7 minutes of the show, we haven't really talked anything about football yet.
This is what happens when there's one game of the season left.
And there's loads of news coming in. So let's start with.
Is there?
Yeah. Well, Mr. Harris would like to lead the way with some Ravens leaving.
Yes, I would.
And shedding their opening their wings and spreading their wings and leaving the flock.
I am very, very well put, Mr. OBH. I am not happy with this. We had the best defense in the NFL this season, and it was down to one defensive coordinator, Mike McDonald, who I was told the last time the four of us were together, it was too soon for him to take a head coaching job. Well, Mr. OBH stands corrected on that point because he has been appointed the new head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. So, yeah, I mean, it's an excellent appointment. I think it's a great appointment. He was very good, a very good defensive coordinator for us this season. But then it's a different kettle of fish entirely when you get promoted to a. You just couldn't let me have it, could you? You just couldn't let me have my moment. So Zachary Orr takes over then as the new defensive coordinator for the Ravens. We'll see how it goes with that one. I'm looking forward to it. Yes, baby hope.
So this is more of a side thing for all of them rather than just the Seahawks. So it's mainly about the Seahawks, Falcons, and we'll get onto the Commanders. But they've all appointed defensively minded coaches. Yeah. Whereas I think the whole league is moving towards offensively minded coaches because most of the good coaches tend to be offensively minded. So do you not think it's a bit weird that they've all gone defensively minded?
Can I put a side note on that?
Okay.
The people who've decided who've gone defensive coaches have gone very young, offensive-minded, offensive coaching. They've all come from like Shanahan, McVay, anyone on the West Coast coaching style trees, McDaniels and all that. They've taken their coaches to implement that coaching scheme, that offense style of scheme. So I think it's a mixture of both. That they get, okay, let's get that defense worked, stop the other team scoring, and then we'll go and score. I think it's that way.
I was going to say, yeah, I'm not happy about it, but at the end of the day, I think with that defense in Seattle, I think he will turn that ship around defensively at least. And with the pending free agent in the market on that side of the ball as well, God knows who he could take with him. He could take Patrick Queen with him. You know, I think he would be an asset to Seattle and an asset to that defense. We might be seeing Legion of Boom 2.0.
They have Bobby Wagner for that position.
Yeah, but he's going to own that one.
Mr. Perrins?
So when you said about like going offensive coaches, when we maybe said about like offensive coaches being the better ones, that's why they've quite popular at the moment in terms of being head coaches. I want to just I want to to the other side of the coin on that, because if you look at like the NFC West in particular, you've got Kyle Shanahan, who often gets lauded as one of the best offensive minds in the NFL. You've also got Sean McVay, who also comes from the same tree and gets lauded as he's a rightful Super Bowl winning head coach and a really good offensive mind himself. When you think about the offensive loggerheads going at it, I'm not surprised that there's opposite teams that want to know that they're not going to go head to head with Kyle Shanahan. But if you've got like a defensive structure that can slow that down, I think that's where the league will balance itself out, because you only have to look at like D'Amico Ryans, like how he's turned that unit around. Houston's always been a defensive juggernaut, but he's really, really, really put the pressure on there. You've also got God, what's his name? It's just been hired by the Raiders. My mind's gone blank because I haven't think about him for a while.
Antonio Pierce.
Antonio Pierce, a defensively minded head coach in a conference that has literally Andy Reid and Sean Payton. Okay, so I think it will balance, and now Jim Harbaugh as well. So I think it will balance itself out over time, especially when you look at like the talent that those teams have. Like you said, on the roster, that Seattle defense is quite young and will get better. The defensive structure in Houston is young and will get better. They've also got a young offensive player as well. So these things will just kind of go where the strength of the roster will dictate who they bring in as a head coach, if that makes sense.
Yeah, completely. I like this hire. I really do. I think it's a good
me too.
hire. I mean, apparently he was always the first choice as soon as he interviewed. That's who they wanted. That's who they went with. So, yeah, he's obviously come across really good. I think it's a good hire. Like you said, he's the number one defense. He's already got some incredibly good talent on that defensive side of the ball. Good luck for San Fran next year.
Bring him on.
Seattle next year.
A great man once said, to be the man, woo, you gotta beat the man.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair, So
plus they're Seattle and they don't have a quarterback, so they're fine.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, man. They've got Locke and they've got Gino.
Yeah, they're both top quality.
I mean, maybe go for Minshew. It'd break my heart, but Minshew in Seattle.
Possibly.
Don't start him anywhere.
You might laugh, but seriously, that could be an option.
I think it's a good option.
So,
Minshew will not be a starter next season.
Oh my God! Put money on it. I will put money on it with you.
Mate,
That he will.
I've already got a bet with you on it.
We have. Yeah, I knew. I
remember.
knew that. Just kind of forgot.
okay. The news that broke about 3 hours ago, which is Dan Quinn going to Commanders. What do we think of this? Because obviously he's had a stint in Atlanta Falcons and they folded quicker than a wet paper tray in the Super Bowl under Dan Quinn. He's then had built a good defense in Dallas.
That's also approached choking.
But I'm going to say that's on the offensive side of the ball more than anything else. What do we think of this one? Do we think this is a right move? This sensible move? Because I reckon their first choice is Ben Johnson, and he said he's staying in Detroit. We'll get to that in a minute.
So
Shane.
I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be interesting in Washington going forward. The fact that they've got new owners, there seems to be a new dawn for this team, especially with the fact that they have a new head coach as well, who will. I think he'll get a bit more freedom. Dan Quinn, he'll get a bit more freedom than Ron Rivera did, because I think with the ownership change in the middle of the season from Dan Snyder to, his name escapes me. Sorry.
Josh Harris.
Anyway. Thank you. I know it was Harris something. I think you're going to see a different Washington, I think, under this new coach, and the fact that they got an early pick in the draft as well. And you know what? It's like one good pick could change a season.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Or maybe.
Mr. Hope.
So, personally, I don't like this pick.
I don't.
Washington literally needs to be rebuilt from the ground. So I'd have probably given it to maybe a younger guy who may be more want this project long term rather than someone like Dan Quinn.
I think.
So Nick has just said there's always been a bridge QBs. Maybe he's a bridge head coach.
Good shout.
Get a bit of stability until Ben Johnson's won the championship, won the Super Bowl with the Detroit Lions.
To be fair, someone like Lovie Smith, he was a bridge head coach, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was already part of that team. He hasn't left an established defensive coordinator role in Dallas, like Dan Quinn has, to go not only to conference, but a divisional rival. He's staying in the NFC East, which I think brutal. Really is brutal. You know, it's like going like when Tevez left Man United again and played Man City. But
Mm.
it's not done, baby.
I think Dan Quinn needs to make sure he brings in a very, very good offensive coordinator. Because they have number 2 in the draft, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
They need to
Where
pick a
Caleb Myers
QB.
Caleb Williams ago.
They need to pick a QB.
No,
So they need someone that can
No.
develop that.
no.
They need to pick somebody that can develop that QB, or potentially, Phil, develop Sam Howell if you want to go down that direction. But I don't think they're going to go down that. I think they're going QB at 2.
Elaborate, Phil, because that was a very definite no from your end.
I just don't think they need a quarterback.
You think Sam Howell's good enough?
No,
No. Well, what are you saying,
No.
Mr. Parents? Come on.
but
I
like,
get confused.
I think there's still development there. I think under a better structure, I just don't think he's been given a fair shot to really give him enough of how do I say this? I don't think there's enough to see how good he is yet. I should say. Does that make sense?
Enough time. Give him enough time.
I get that.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen enough to see him in a good enough structure for it. I think he has his peaks and obviously he has his valleys. But I don't see, and Washington love him, like the fans love him. We only have to really look back to when Jared Goff first went to Detroit, and he was in two leagues? Well, what the first losing season was abomination. The second one got and they got consecutively, consistently better. And then just like look at Ryan Tannehill when he left Miami, he went to Tennessee, and he shone. I mean, he hit his ceiling very, very quickly, but in the right offensive structure, we could actually see him really, really progress. And I don't think it's fair that to say a quarterback that's been in probably one of the worst run, if not the worst run NFL franchise, should be like thrown on the pyre. Like, and then we talk about other quarterbacks getting second, third, fourth, fifth chances when we haven't really seen the best of Sam Howell. I've seen enough of him to go, he's a good quarterback, but not enough to see him really progress because he hasn't been given the opportunity to progress.
Who would you take it to then?
I think they need at least a wide receiver. I think they need a flashy. It's almost like a star signing. I think they need a big offensive name.
Harrison Jr.
Who?
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
Roman
Yeah.
Buse.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is the best wide receiver in this class.
I think he's going 1.
I generally don't see looking at maybe the quarterback class this year. I didn't think last year's class was very strong anyway, with the exception of Brock Purdy. But
3 years ago.
I don't think there's enough there that if you drafted a player in that they're going to be like Stroud-esque, Trevor Lawrence-esque to a degree, the best of Justin Fields, the best of Mac Jones. I just don't see it, and I just think it's probably worth keeping Sam for at least another year because the Redskins, the Commanders are in rebuild, but they're not going to go straight to the playoffs like Texans did. They're not, because of how stacked the NFC is.
Do you not think one of Caleb Williams, Drake May, or Jaden Daniels could go like Stroud? Because I think all 3 of those are very, very, very good NFL-ready quarterbacks.
No, because we've seen very good, ready NFL quarterbacks, and they haven't done anything. I mean, just look at the draft class from 3 years ago now. They're looking. The Cowboys are already looking on moving on Trey Lance, and Trey Lance was drafted second, not second, third.
And Max fifth.
Look at one obvious thing: Bryce Young. You know, Jamarcus Russell, Ryan Leaf, the biggest draft bust of all time.
God. Did you see? He was covering for Rich Eisen the other day. Ryan Leaf talking. He did like a half-an-hour segment about his career and why he believes it went downhill really, really quick because he didn't have the right people around him. Well, no, honestly, but he talked about like when he was drafted and the bad advice that he was given and the people that he had around him that was leeching off him. I mean, yes, he had a ton of drugs charges and he went to prison and he had battery and all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying anything like that, but like he would essentially set himself up, or he was set up to fail in a situation, where he was always going to lose. And he talked in great length about like how agents around him were playing mind games with him. He said something about like Peyton Manning, and he was told that, oh, Peyton Manning's working out because Peyton Manning's intimidated by you. Peyton Manning knows that you're bigger than him. All this kind of stuff. So he went into it with like a massive ego, thinking that, oh, I'm going to be better than Peyton Manning. Oh, wait, hold on. 25 years later, who's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time? So I just don't think, and I think the way that the NFL is going, and I won't interrupt you anymore, Hendo, is I think the better quarterbacks now coming out, and I still think the jury is going to be more out and out on Trevor Lawrence, especially next season. I don't think you'll see star quarterbacks being drafted in the first round anymore. I think a lot of teams are going down the route, and I don't want to keep saying his name because I know it really irritates at least 2 out of the 4 of you on the show, but the Brock Purdy route, because I think the first round, that's where you're going to find your linebackers, your star wide receivers, your tackles, your defensive ends, your cornerbacks. I think that's where it's going to go for the next 3-4 years, and I think quarterbacks are going to start falling down the line, essentially like how running backs are. Because if you've got the right system, i.e. a system quarterback, I think that might actually be where it goes. But I don't think the Commanders need a quarterback.
The gentleman to my right will be agreeing with me. So, Baby Hope, how many years have I been saying that the team needs to build a roster before they plug in a rookie quarterback?
Yes.
This podcast is nearly 3 years old, so nearly 3 years.
Yeah. I've been saying, literally, that's the way to go. You go and get the best left tackle in the league. Then you go and get your best wide receivers available, because they're your main 2. You've got your safety net and you've got your blind side protected. And there's your main 2 things on a quarterback. You need a rookie quarterback. And then you can build the rest of the O-line with veterans and then plug in exciting young talent, skill positions. And then you can put in this rookie quarterback. Like, then you go and pick him in round 1. So I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere like Atlanta then go and pick a quarterback at 7, because they've got everything they need there. They just haven't got the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So, Texans did the best thing. They built up a team, put CJ Stroud in, and he's done brilliant. Baby, you had your hand up.
I was just going to say, I don't think the Falcons will go QB at 7 unless one of the top 3 quarterbacks in this draft is still there. And that is Jaden Daniels, Drake Mayer, and Caleb. Yeah.
Can I into a little secret? I've only got one quarterback going in the top 3 of my mock draft.
I've not started my mock draft yet.
He's doing his mock draft already, ladies and gentlemen. The season's not even over yet. What a professional.
Hey, Daniel Jeremiah's dropped his already.
My issue with doing my mock draft now is I don't know the draft order.
Point taken. Point taken.
I've finished my top 25, which coming 22nd of Feb. But I've not started my mock draft yet.
Phil, have you done yours yet?
No, mate.
No, I've had a little dabble at mine, I've had a little look, but nothing concrete.
I know. I saw your legal pad.
Yeah, believe it or not, that's not mine.
Let's give a little bit more news before we go to the main event of tonight's show.
Wait, Gardner Minshew's dropping in? No way!
Oh my God! Wait, are we going to get the the GM of the New Orleans Saints?
No, it's Jey Uso.
Oh,
isn't it?
okay.
Main event Jey.
Jey Uso.
Hey, I know.
I'm proud. We converted the pay-per-view. I'm so proud.
Former Atlanta
Falcons
Ralph Smith is going to be the OC of Pittsburgh Steelers, so they're going to fail drastically because he's not going to throw it to Najee. He's not going to throw it to the best tight end. He's not going to throw it to your best.
I was going to make that joke. I was going to say I'm worried about Najee Harris and Pickens.
I know, because
I'm not.
let's face it, he doesn't like their best players, does he, Atlanta?
I don't know. Maybe he's an offensive coordinator. I think to be fair, I think he's one of those people who's a better coordinator than he is head coach.
Josh McDaniels.
Yes. Matt Patricia also.
Yeah. No, he's defensive. He can't be offensive. Save his bloody life.
Yeah, but he's a better coordinator than he is head coach.
The Packers have taken a stab at a young college defensive coordinator from Boston College. The Boston College head coach Jeff Hafley is now the Green Bay Packers defensive coordinator. I really like this, but I really hate it at the same time.
That's interesting.
Ollie, what's your view on the Patriots thing?
I love it.
The
Jerry
Jerry Springer.
I
Jeremy
love it.
Springer, sorry. You like that?
He
don't you?
was so the special team, the assistant special team. He was being touted as the next big thing.
God bless him.
The assistant special teams coach, Jeremy Springer, not Jerry Springer.
Yeah, I made that mistake too.
So, is it, baby? Are you old enough to remember Jerry Springer?
I don't know who Jerry Springer is. The name just rings a bell.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
It's like I said earlier in the show. They bring these defensive-minded head coaches because Jared Mayo is a linebacker coach, and he's not going to show the head coach. They're bringing in young, exciting offensive coordinators and offensive and special teams coordinators to make this defense look different. And because the defense is brilliant, it's just the offense was a bit crap last season. That's pretty understatement. I do like the Boston College head coach going to Green Bay, though. I think that's a really good signing for them. Very good defensively for a small D1 college. They did absolutely brilliantly. Had a couple of big wins last season as well. Sugar Bowl? No. Senior Bowl?
Yes.
So, there is no official football this weekend. We are kind of looking at the Senior Bowl. And we've gone around, okay, which players excite us the most going to this? So most of these seniors are going to be, there may be a few that go in the early rounds, especially the linemen, but there's a few out there that could be a nice later round pick. Who would like to have their selections made first from the Senior Bowl?
Can I go first? Because I've gone totally left field out of this one.
Yeah, because I keep Phil podding my screen.
Yeah, so I'm checking. I'm doing off my phone because it's got the best mic. So sorry, I was just looking at what was going on in the comment section.
So basically, I've abandoned this segment which I came up with, and have decided to go for a position group rather than actual players. And I'm really excited to look at the running backs. And that's because I feel like the running back market, the running back prospects, they have about 7 that are set 1 to 7 in the drafts. And none of those 7 are there. But then like the next tier down, there's like another 8 or 9 that will probably get drafted maybe late day 2, day 3. And they're all at the Senior Bowl. So a really good performance from one of the running backs could potentially take you from a late day 3 pick into an early day 2 pick. And a poor
Which
performance,
involves more money.
yeah, and a poor performance could take you from a potentially day 2 pick to a late day 3 pick, or even potentially undrafted. So I feel like keeping a close eye on the running backs is going to be very interesting. And the one that I'm excited to watch the most, and there's been a lot of buzz of him coming out earlier this week, is Ali, I think his name is. I can't remember where he's from.
I've just literally just seen his name.
Yeah, he's the one that I'm most excited to watch of all of the running backs.
So he's on the national team.
Yes.
National team.
Mhm.
He is from great research here. Rasheen Ali
his
is
name,
from
baby?
Marshall.
Rasheen Ali.
And the USC one, who's
Marshall Lloyd.
He's the one that I've seen rated the highest of all of them. So of all of them that are there, he's the one that's rated the highest, potentially in the echelon of the top 7 rather than the others. And by the way, Ollie, I've seen your number 1 running back, Blake Corum, in some mock drafts as the 7th highest rated running back.
which is ridiculous.
I've not seen him rated 1 in any of them that I've looked at.
Well, everyone has one, and it's a common opinion. Who would like to go next on this one? I've got a couple of players, or 4 players I've got an eye on for. I'm happy to go with.
Go on,
Go on, then,
Mr.
Mr.
Leatu Latu.
Speak your French, boy, are you?
Yep. So he plays for UCLA. He's going to be playing for the Nationals. I'm fascinated because I think he's going to be a pretty good draft prospect for whoever can get their hands on him. I'd love the 49ers too, but I don't think that's actually going to happen. This guy is an absolute beefcake. Okay, 6'5". He's had a fantastic season. He's recently won the Lombardi Award. He's also won the unanimous All-American Award. Basically, he's picked up every single thing this year. As he possibly can. He's also, this is one of my favorite awards ever, is the Ted Hendricks Award. Baby, do you know who Ted Hendricks was?
I think you know I don't.
Oh,
Would it
so let me tell you who Ted Hendricks was. Ted Hendricks is a 4-time Super Bowl winning champion. He won 2 with Green Bay, and he won 2 with the silver and black of the Oakland, then LA Raiders. And he has absolutely swept everything. And I'm really looking forward to seeing him play for the Nationals.
Would
Phil
you be
always
buying
finds,
his jersey?
Phil
Yeah.
always finds a way.
Say again, Ollie. Sorry.
I was just going to say, Phil always finds a way to bring in the Raiders.
Raiders and the 49ers make the league go round. I'm just saying. Raiders and the 49ers make the league go round.
Just by the way, I'm just Googling this, but I believe that he might be the brother of the 49ers tight end, Cameron Latu.
Oh my God, imagine if he ends up playing for us. Also, we're actually pronouncing it wrong because we're talking about like the Senior Bowl. It's actually the Reese's Senior Bowl.
I like Reese's.
I can't eat.
I've got the actual
Want
website
to
in front of me.
speculate why that is? Answers on a postcard.
Literally.
So I can't find any confirmation, but I believe he is the brother of Cameron Latu.
Oh, let's have a look. Let's have a look if I can find him.
While they're doing that, Shayna, have you got anyone you would like to keep an eye on?
I certainly have, yes. There's a defensive back from Notre Dame, Cam Hart, who obviously has the best last name of all time. Thank you very much.
Oh, no,
And his
he's
hometown
not.
is... God damn it, let me have my turn. I don't know a lot about college football. I'm trying to show off. His hometown is from my beloved Baltimore. He's a cornerback. And yeah, apparently he's really good, not just because of the greatest last name of all time, but also he possesses fluidity, speed, and quick feet to come down and defend slot receivers in man coverage. Anyone swear know what I'm talking about when I say that. He also does a nice job breaking down in space as a tackler after the catch as well. So it sounds like he's very good at what he does, and I'm not going for the flashy picks like Michael Penix and another. Sorry, my mind's gone blank on that one. So yeah, keep an eye out for Cam Hart.
They're not
Just
related.
quickly, yeah, I've just
I know
realised
they're not.
that they're not related.
So I've got a couple of players from outside, both two American, 2 national. The first one I've gone for is the defensive lineman from Ohio State, Michael Hall. 6'2".
Michael Moore?
Michael Hall.
Oh. I was thinking of the guy that did bowling for Columbine.
Michael Hart.
Shut it.
You're going to kill us now.
295 pounds. So he's a big old unit. I've seen some of his videos this week. He's quick for a big guy. He's very quick off the step. He's got a great first step, really quick, super spin move. He's going to be flattening quarterbacks going forward. 24 tackles, 1.5 sacks in the 6 games he played in this year for Ohio. Coming back off a bit of a groin injury coming forward on that one. The other lad on the American team is Lad Mokorki. I love that name. Wide receiver from Georgia, 6 foot, 185 pounds, 59 tackles. 59 catches for 762 yards and 7 TDs last year.
Imagine if we see Imagine if we see McCorkle pass it to McCorkey next year.
McCorkey, yeah. I like this lad. He's got great soft hands, which is brilliant for catching. Obviously, the deep bucket balls. It's a brilliant route runner. Tracks the ball really, really well in the run, in the deep ball. But not only that, he does the dirty work. He loves a block as well. Seeing some of the blocks he's thrown in the seniors, in the warm-ups, is like, yeah, get down. Really, really good wide receiver. He's going to be a great, probably 5th rounder, I would say. I'm really surprised from the national team, you two specifically haven't picked this one up. CMC's brother.
In my defense, I already knew you'd picked him, so I didn't. I didn't pick Joey Rice's son because I assumed Phil was going to.
Oh no, sorry, I didn't. I purposely didn't want to, make it sound too much of a 49er loving.
But yeah, because I was texting
your Detroit shirt.
Well, I'm supposed to.
Ollie, I was texting you earlier and you were talking about him, so I sort of assumed you were going to pick him. So I still
So he's an ex-quarterback. He was at Nebraska as a quarterback before moving to Rice to be a wide receiver. Like I said, he's Christian McCaffrey's brother. He's 5'8". No, he's not. He's 6'2", 198 pounds. So he's a decent guy. 58 yards, 58 catches for 723 yards and 6 touchdowns. If he's half as good as Christian McCaffrey, you're going to have a hell of a player coming out of the draft. Ollie look like you're about to say something.
I mean, I was going to say there's a lot of links to Niners in this year's draft because there's obviously Christian McCaffrey's brother, there's Jerry Rice's son, and there's also Frank Gore's son.
Oh, yeah. I heard Frank Gore's son was in the draft, yeah.
You genuinely think that we will get our hands on one of them, wouldn't you think? Considering, obviously, you've got, Frank Gore, 49er legend, Jerry Rice, Super Bowl winning legend and legend. McCaffrey played for us. His dad won a Super Bowl for us. I mean, it writes itself. All we need now is Joe Montana's lad to decide that he wants to be a quarterback.
My opinion is we will make both Gore and Rice a priority.
I could see both. Yeah, especially if we lose Jennings.
Okay, I have one more, and it's my other half's favourite player coming to this draft, Notre Dame quarterback, Sam Hartman. 6'1", 212 pounds. This is a what would be an easy pro-ready quarterback later in the round. He's not as flashy as Drake Mayer, Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, but he's solid. He's reliable. He's got crisp releases, purposely a real tight spiral, can throw from different angles on his arms. He's got a bullet of a pass. It's not the strongest arm in the world, but it's a bullet of a pass. He goes through his progressions really quickly, and he's very, very good at a savvy decision making. This guy is a really good quarterback. He's almost like the way he can get his arm to throw the ball from different angles on his arm. It reminds me of Matt Stafford. I've seen Notre Dame play a few times this year, and he has impressed me. I do like this guy. He's definitely a day 2 pickup all day long.
So we've got a comment from Nick here saying, impressive read up on the Senior Bowl players, chaps. I've only just got over my hangover from Sunday. Nick, I've been meaning to ask you, because I couldn't make it, but how was the 49ers meetup in Leeds? From the pictures and videos I've seen, it looked like it was absolutely amazing. And I'm gutted I can't make the Super Bowl one too.
I've seen
that'd be funny. Why don't you two do a spin-off Niners cast, just the two of you, for half an hour every week?
We'd need more than half an hour, mate. It'd be longer than Third and Long.
Because Nick and Paul and they have their own Niners podcast that I listen to every week. So
me too. Me too. I do. Yeah, I listen to them.
It's Nick, Paul, Lee, and the other guy's name. I
Roman.
His name.
Oh, he's a Niners fan. I don't know.
Roman. Just say Roman.
But if there are any Niners fans watching that don't listen to that podcast, I can't recommend it highly enough. The Faithful UK.
Definitely.
We make a plug in return.
Always. Okay. as we know, before the Super Bowl, they have the end of season awards. So, as always, we do our own, and we are going to announce our selections tonight. I was going to do a wheel spin, but I forgot to make one.
Oh.
So I've been busy. It's ish. Been coaching. I've been busy. So we are going to go around the room, changing. I'll go that way. So whoever picks last next time picks first. Whatever. I'll do something around it. As Mr. Perrind is losing in predictions, I'm going to let you go first for MVP. Your nominee for MVP.
My nominee for MVP is someone that is a true underdog in every single way. Someone that was never expected, never expected to do anything. Someone that has taken the reins that was passed to him and he had ran with it. We're talking about no longer the next big thing. We're talking about the beast incarnate, Eddie.
Shane,
Shane's filling that place, but he's going to go for a Ravens player now. So
yeah, he's going to be like, oh, Lamar, oh.
Shane?
Oh, Lamar was so good up until he actually wasn't. Oh,
your MVP.
Brock Purdy has more playoff victories than Lamar. Oh,
Shane, your MVP vote.
I'm trying to get my pick out uninterrupted, Mr. OBH. Thank you for your patience. Yeah, fucking Lamar Jackson, that's right. And it's not just me that says it, the league says it. One bad game in the playoffs, that's why I hate playoff football. You have one bad game and it basically defines your season. But his season is going to be defined by his second MVP. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2023 NFL MVP, Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens. Thank you.
I mean, I'm not surprised Lamar wears purple, the amount he chokes.
Oh, that's an oldie recycle Vikings joke, baby hope.
Yeah, but it's still
Worst Super Bowl ever.
Mr. Hope, would you like to give us your MVP?
I think you know what's coming.
And me.
Is it a little running back?
It is a running back who goes by the name of Christian McCaffrey. Over 2,000 scrimmage yards. If you include the playoffs, he scored 25 touchdowns this season. He is a beast. He, in my opinion, should win MVP because I think he's been more important to the Niners and, hasn't choked at the first chance he could. He's been uber consistent this year. Christian McCaffrey for MVP.
C.
I am going to double down on that. I've got my nominee. I'm going for Tyreek Hill. He was on.
Sorry, I've just seen Nick's comment. Lamar will be MVP, but it's odd having a player with two MVPs but the same amount of playoff wins.
Oh,
as I said on the show on Monday, it's not just one person that fucks up the whole game. So it's 52. So yeah,
I doff my cap to you, my friend.
So did someone say 52? Someone says 52.
What?
Isn't that the same? Isn't that the number of the man that got away with murder in 2000?
Leave it there. Leave it there. What do you mean, Madden cover athlete? Is that what you mean? I get you. Anyway, sorry, Mr. OBH. Mouth almighty's off again. Go on.
Did he mute himself?
He should do as well.
Yeah, so I've gone, for Tyreek Hill myself. 2,000 yards. He would have been on for 2,000 yards if not injured for the last couple of games. He's been, I hate to say it, but he has been brilliant for Miami. Hate to say it.
Yeah.
As Nick has now gone on to say, Lamar did have the best regular season and it's a quarterback award.
Of course it is. We all know that.
Yes.
Mr. Harris, would you like to give us your offensive player of the year, please?
Yes, I would. And the boys are going to love this one. I can take the pipe from one of those, and I will pipe the Niners off a little tiny bit myself. You can't look past CMC. Absolutely incredible. He deserves he does deserve the MVP. He won't get it, but he deserves it. He's basically the biggest weapon the Niners have, and the Niners have massive weapons as it is. Yeah, I'm definitely going for Christian McCaffrey on this one.
Yeah. Mr. Perrins?
Sign language.
Hello, gents. Sorry about that. My offensive player of the year is going to be someone that has a pretty, like, he's not been MVP caliber, but he has been quite good in the offensive schemes. And that's going to be Lamar Jackson, because in the regular season, which is when the voting was taking place, he was a pretty good offensive weapon. But, you know, not everybody can actually do the deed in the playoffs. So my offensive player of the year is going to be Mr. Purple himself, Lamar.
Nice. Baby Hope, over to you, my friend.
So I'm going to take Tyreek Hill for all the reasons that you said MVP. He's had a great year. If he hadn't been injured, he was probably on course for 2,000 yards if he hadn't got injured. He has been Miami's biggest weapon this year in a great season for Miami. So I'm going to put Tyreek Hill forward.
Nice. So back in the early noughties, what was the main choice of listening device? What was the main thing we listened to?
Music players.
Well, yeah, I know where you're going with this.
I see where you're going with this now.
Thank you. Dallas is.
Oh, you don't know a CD is something that contains songs on it, you know?
Oh,
Just trying to explain what a tape is to him.
I only know Spotify.
Oh my!
Oh god. Luckily, we're on other networks as well. Yeah, so I've gone for CD Lamb as my offensive player of the year. Just shy of 17,500 yards, 1,700 yards. Just second league, only Tyreek Hill. 12 touchdowns, which was third in league to CMC and Tyreek Hill. So I have gone.
Didn't Raheem Mostert score more too?
Who?
Raheem Mostert.
Not according to the stats I got, but I'm over.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm taking CD Lamb as my offensive player of the year. I'm going to go first because I know for a fact. I hope for a fact you haven't gone to pick this guy. My defensive player of the year is a certain defensive back from, again, Dallas. Anyone think I'm a Dallas fan? Well, I'm not, by the way.
Who damn?
I've gone for Deron Bland, 9 interceptions and 5 pick sixes, which equals the record for the most pick sixes in a season. And he's 2 interceptions ahead of anyone else in the league. He has had a brilliant season. He stepped up when Trayvon Diggs went down. And I do think Stephon Gilly on the other corner has helped him a lot going forward. So Deron Bland is my defensive player of the year vote. Baby?
So, without sounding like a certain part owner of Burnley Football Club, I am going to go with TJ Watt. He's had 19 sacks this year, 1 interception, and he is just the definition of a one-man wrecking crew every season. And I think he will become a three-time defensive player of the year this year.
Nice. Mr. Harris?
I'm going to go for a certain defensive end for the silver and black.
Oh, you son of a...
I'm not. I knew that would get him. I knew it. I'm not. He'd be on the ceiling if I do that. I go for a certain defensive end from the AFC North, the Cleveland Browns, Mr. Myles Garrett, who will, in all honesty, I think he'll win this award. He was being absolutely incredible this year. 42 tackles, 30 quarterback hits, and 14 sacks. He's been unreal on that Cleveland defense. Mr. Perrins.
So with that reaction, I kind of think I know who Mr. Perrins is going for.
Yeah, me too.
I've been waxing him off, or as we said
Sorry,
on
what?
the pod.
If you knew what now?
I was about to say like waxing him off, but like as we say in the pod, piping him off.
Piping him off.
He is the only ginger white boy that can say the N-word and not get his head kicked in. He's got a porn star name. Okay, it's Max Crosby himself.
Okay.
Double X in more ways than one. Okay, because he's quite big, so he has the double pads, like he's wearing extra large shirts, nothing else in particular. He's not just been an amazing asset on the field for, I nearly said the Oakland Raiders, for the Las Vegas Raiders. He's also been a key asset to keeping that team together off it. Now, I know we're talking about like defensive player of the year in terms of the output on the field. He's had a really, really great output on the field, sorry, I should say. But on the team as a whole, I mean, obviously we've had Antonio Pierce, whose name I forgot earlier, but when you think about like the Raiders this year and players that have kept that organization together, because after the McDaniels and Garoppolo kind of fling that went on, that organization was about to die. Okay. And he was part of that locker room. He was that locker room leader that really galvanized that team on all three sides of the ball. And I just think he's a fantastic player and he's been brilliant. Max Crosby for me.
Nice. Baby Hope, would you like to give us your offensive rookie of the year nomination?
I'm very glad I'm going first with this because I can take the quarterback from the Houston Texans, CJ Stroud.
That's not who I was going to pick.
Not me.
He's got 4,108 yards, 23 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, quarterback rating of 100.8. If he doesn't win either Rookie of the Year or Offensive Rookie of the Year, then I will eat my hat.
And ladies and gentlemen, that will be available to you on
Patreon.
channel.
No, Patreon.
No, I reckon we can do that on Patreon. I think people would pay to see that.
I'm
I'd pay to see that.
I'm not making the same bet I did for the draft 2 years ago because that almost ended up happening.
Oh, what, the vinegar?
No, it's ketchup.
Oh, ketchup, that was it.
Whoa. For those of us who don't know who, or those of us who weren't here for that, do you want to give that a bit of context?
I made a bet saying that if a certain player wasn't picked before a certain number, I would drink a bottle of ketchup live on air.
It was
Did you?
Justin Fields, wasn't it?
Yeah, luckily Fields went before, I think it was 23, was it?
Yeah.
So I didn't need to do that. But I
think we need to do another one this year.
Oh yeah, I'm a player.
No,
I think we all need to pick somebody in the draft and say, give her like a number of when we expect them to be, drafted before on, and if they don't, we have to do a forfeit. That would be a great. That would be a
hot
great
sauce here, boy.
Okay, let's roll on to Mr. Harris's offensive rookie of the year.
Okay, all right then. Well, I think after CJ, if CJ is 1, then this gentleman is 1A from the Los Angeles Rams. You know I'm picking Puka Nacua. What an absolute stud of a wide receiver. He became, the left hand to Cooper Kupp's right hand in a 2-man punch of receivers for the LA Rams. Yes, Mr. OBH.
My offensive rookie of the year is Tank Dell.
Oh, I thought you put your hand up then. I thought you wanted to say something. Sorry, but yeah, go on. All right.
No, I was I've gone for Tank Dell as my offensive rookie of the year. I think he was absolutely superb. He was CJ's go-to guy when Nico Collins went down. He didn't miss Nico Collins went down because Tank Dell was absolutely outstanding. And I hope he comes back just as good, if not better, next year from his broken leg. Mr. Perez.
Tank Dell was my backup if someone had taken Stroud.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've gone with a tight end because I'm part of the TEU, and I'm gonna go with Sam Laporta for the Detroit Lions. It's got nothing to do with the fact that I'm wearing a Lions jersey. I'm just a big fan of tight ends in general. I think it might be because I played there, but I've been really impressed.
I'm not going down that joke.
I use it every Christmas after a couple of cans. It's fine.
Hey.
But seriously, he's been an absolute stud for that Detroit offense this year. They have been one of the highest scoring teams, and he was absolutely phenomenal against the 49ers. I mean, it could have been him or Gibbs that I could have picked, but I went with Sam Laporta. He on the season, 889 yards, 10 touchdowns, I should say, average 10.3 yards per carry. I mean, he's already up there with like the Kittles, the Kelces, and the Andrews. He's looking really, really good, and he's becoming one of Goff's preferred weapons on that offense. And if you've got a really good tight end that can block and receive, they're worth the weight in gold.
I can't believe you put Andrews in the same breath as Kittle and Kelsey then.
No, but I'm saying in terms of status and also how much they get paid, because Laporta is a good receiver as well.
Yeah.
Andrews and Kelsey are really good at receiving. Kittle is excellent at doing both. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I rate Andrews, and if we're going to be really, really subjective here, Andrews is a really good tight end. He's amazing at that short receiving yards, kind of like offense that the Ravens pull, but he's not an amazing blocker. And that's one of the problems that the Ravens faced on the weekend against the Chiefs. And Kelsey, again, is very much cut from the same cloth. Kittle is the best all-rounder. And I think Sam Laporta is becoming a really good all-rounder. And he's been amazing tight end. And he's my rookie offensive player of the year.
Nice.
try,
Okay. Defensive rookie of the year then, Mr. Perrins.
Joey Porter Jr. I'm not even joking. I traded for him on Madden. I said before the draft, he was one of the players that I was keeping a really, really key eye on. And even though the Steelers fizzles out towards the end of the season and going into the playoffs, he was playing the defensive ball, and he was part of the team that weren't fizzling out. A lot of the Steelers' problems is the offensive unit. He was fantastic at not being like a shutdown corner, but he's very physical. He's really good at reading zones. He's not a man-to-man. He's not fast enough to be man-to-man, but his brain works exactly like his dad's did. He's great at reading the game and can get there. He can read the zone, he can read plays, and I've just been very, very impressed with him. Again, if the Steelers can progress and become actually good, I think he'll become a proper all-pro in years to come. But Joey Porter Jr. has been one of the players that has not disappointed me coming from the draft.
Nice. Mr. Harris.
One of the few bright spots in an otherwise dour Eagles season is Jalen Carter, defensive tackle. I had my eye on this gentleman in the draft, and everyone was saying, because God knows, I don't know enough about college football to have my own opinion, but from what I was reading, it was a case of this guy's a beast, keep an eye. So I kept an eye, and he was absolutely brilliant. I thought he was fantastic. 6 sacks, 33 combined tackles, and 2 forced fumbles. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. They didn't last in the playoffs. They got bounced. But as I said, I think he played great his rookie year. It'll be interesting to see now how his sophomore year continues. But I think he's great. I think he's great at his position, great what he does, and he's my defensive rookie of the year.
Nice. Baby Hope.
So this was one I struggled with, and I was going back and forth between quite a few players. Well, Jalen Carter was in my mind, but I finally did settle on Houston Texans defensive lineman Will Anderson Jr.
Mm.
Nice.
He's had seven sacks this season. He's looked very good. And I think he definitely has potential to become a Bosa, a Donald, Watt, a Parsons in this league.
Isn't he a nose tackle? Doesn't he play more in the middle?
He can play both.
Okay. I think I remember I've seen him play be more central.
I did mention Donald in there, who is also a nose tackle.
Yeah, it's very, very true. So mine is taken in the second round. He was the only rookie to come back and sit in the green room on the second round. He had a pick 6 in his first game against Kansas City Chiefs. I've gone for Brian Branch, the defensive back for Detroit Lions. I think he's had a brilliant season. That secondary looks better when he's in it. He is probably their best secondary player now. God knows. Look at Cam Sutton on Sunday night. Jesus Christ, he was on his island on his own most of the time. Brian Branch, really good. He can come into the slot as well. I've seen him have a few sacks as well. He's a really good player. And he's going to be he could be a defensive player of the year in years to come. He's that good.
I believe Kelly's also a big fan of him, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, she is. Big fan. And that's not the reason I picked him. I was the same as you. I was going, right, I know who's going to be picking what. I could figure it right. I'd work out what you guys are picking. Go, who the hell am I going to pick then?
Did you know I was going to go Will Anderson or not?
I knew one of you would be going for Will Anderson. One of you would be going for like Brian Branch. I guess he'd be going for Joey Porter because it's a Mr. Perrin's pick. So yes.
Very strange. No shout for Kobe Turner of the Rams with his 9 sacks in his rookie season.
Or Yaya Darby from
Yes.
Tampa Bay as well. Comeback player of the year, gentlemen. Baby Hope, would you like to go first?
I'm going to take the obvious pick.
Oh my God.
Damar Hamlin. I know it really angers Mr. Perrins, but this guy has literally come back from the dead to play in the NFL again. So if you're shouting at me, but
Do you know how many times The Undertaker came back from the dead? He didn't win Comeback of the Year. I'm joking. Obviously, I'm very grateful that Damar Hamlin, isn't dead, but like The Undertaker literally was buried alive twice. Okay.
Twice.
Wasn't he set on fire?
He was also set on fire.
Yes, he was.
Okay.
Yes, he was. 98 Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Be a reference.
So Ollie, don't encourage them.
My God! Oh, this is coming from the person that was asking me on Saturday night, how does Royal Rumble work? What happens if this happens? So you have a base interest.
And you were literally going, oh, that Liv Morgan, she's well bagged. She's got a sweet ass.
I did not say that.
Yeah, but you're going to be a wrestling fan to admire beauty, have you?
Right,
Oh, I did watch the Royal Rumble, but all 30 of those women were well banging.
I also didn't say that.
Right, Phil, your comeback player of the year, my friend.
Well, I'm gonna actually pick someone that actually played a snap and contributed and actually, did something. I'm gonna go with Baker Mayfield. I have been so impressed with his comeback because he was massively shafted in Cleveland. Shafted in Cleveland. He went to the Rams to essentially be Stafford's filler. He didn't really get oh no, that's a lie. Sorry, he went to the Panthers, got shafted at the Panthers. He went to the Rams then to be Stafford's filler, and it was only really because Brady retired that Tampa needed a quarterback, quick, cheap, and free, and he kind of like signed along. And he's not just been a filler; he's someone that you can build that team around because he has been phenomenal. And if we look at like some of the other players on the pick, and I don't want to ruin anybody's day, but like if someone's going to pick Joe Flacco on paper did not have a particularly good season when he was brought in. I mean, he also threw 2 interceptions, which ultimately cost the Browns. Baker Mayfield was still throwing dimes right up until the death. He played a phenomenal game against the Lions. It's just that the Lions were just better. And I just think Baker Mayfield deserves the accolade. I think he deserves whatever paycheck he gets next year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because I'm not sure whether or not does he become a free agent?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's only
All right. So, I mean, again, Tampa would be stupid to not keep him, but you've also got other teams that will be sniffing around the league going, oh, crap, Baker's actually really good. Like, if we actually give him a passable offense, Baker Mayfield could be that guy for us, like Goff is, in Detroit. So I'm going to go with Baker Mayfield.
Do you know his base contract is £2 million?
Yeah. I know it was ridiculously low. Ridiculously low.
Like $25 million a year, nearly.
Yeah.
What? We don't know.
Well, you look at some of those teams, right? But like honestly, if you look at some of the teams that are insanely paying over the odds for their quarterbacks, that did not even make the playoffs. Okay, ridiculous amount of money. Whilst you think like the 2 lowest paid quarterbacks in the NFL got properly deep into the playoffs. Deep.
Can we discount Joe Burrows out of that?
Yeah, because he's injured. It's not a fair shake.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to, but I was thinking more like, I mean, I know we've had like a lot of injuries, but I'm pretty sure like the likes of like Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, who else? Tannehill. Yeah, but like even on their rookie contract, their rookie contracts will still be more.
Yeah, I get you.
Tannehill's on a fat wage. Russell Wilson, Jesus Christ! Like, there's so many players that are on fat contracts that didn't even bother to turn up this year, and yet Baker Mayfield, probably the second lowest paid starting quarterback. Had a great season.
Definitely. Shano, your comeback player of the year.
One of the teams which surprised me this year with how strong they were on both sides of the ball were the Cleveland Browns. Again, aforementioned first defense, until obviously, we stuck our all in. And Amari Cooper was fantastic. And the fact that they've got, that dual running back threat as well. But then, of course, they couldn't keep a quarterback fit. They went through 4 quarterbacks and eventually scraped into the playoffs. But this may be because my blood is a mixture of red, purple, and strongbow. But the fact that I will be dragging his name back into the conversation, Joe Cool, Joe Playoff, January Joe himself, Mr. Joe Flacco. Yes, he did pass for 13 touchdowns, and yes, Phil, there was 8 picks involved as well. But I don't think the Browns would have made it to the playoffs if it wasn't for him. He was throwing dimes to Amari Cooper and changing the game for the Browns. So yeah, I'm going to go with Joe Flacco. He was sat on his couch, boys. Sat on his couch doing nothing. He even went to a team in the same division as his beloved Ravens. Still earned a fat wage, in the words of Mr. P. So yeah, I'm going for Joe Flacco.
And the offense did look better with him on the center than it did with
Exactly.
Mr. Perrins took my comeback player of the year. So
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I do have backups. I'm good.
You can pick Tua.
Like Kyler Murray.
You can pick Tua.
Pick Kyler Murray.
I wasn't that desperate. I'm not that desperate. So I have gone for a gentleman another gentleman took over his seat last season because someone got injured. He had a rookie wide receiver, led the rookie wide receiver to the most receptions and most yards by a rookie ever.
Williams?
He's not come back. It's not him actually. I could have done him. This team wasn't meant to be anywhere near the playoffs this year. It was meant to be a rebuilding year. They got into the playoffs. Yes, they lose first round to Detroit. But my comeback players this year is Matt Stafford.
Okay.
I could have gone for Kyron Williams because he did miss his complete rookie season with a Achilles injured. But yeah. Last but not least, Coach of the Year, Mr. Hope.
I am going to take the person that took a 3-win team into the divisional round of the playoffs. I am taking the coach of the Houston Texans, D'Amico Ryan.
I wasn't expecting that.
Well, I think he should win it.
Yeah, and me.
I agree, but I'm going to pick someone else now because I don't want to, piss on anyone's chips.
I know who you were picking now.
You don't know who I'm picking.
Because I can't pick him now.
All right, so I out of the ones that have been shortlisted, I'm going to pick the only coach who will be featuring in the Super Bowl, and I'm going to pick Kyle Shanahan.
Oh, boring. Yeah.
I've got nothing. I'm just Kyle Shanahan.
They know.
If we would have beat the smug look of Travis Kelce's face and kicked that tart out of M&T Bank on Sunday, I would have picked John, 100%. Fantastic season, didn't choke in the playoffs, got to the Super Bowl. But we didn't.
He literally ran away, which is quite ironic because he didn't run the ball.
Again, we didn't get there. I know. Do you know what? My heart hurt when we lost, mainly because we were out, our season was over and we didn't get the Super Bowl. The other half of me hurt because I knew of all the shit I'd have to put up with off the 3 of you and all the shit on Twitter as well. But anyway, I digress. My coach of the year.
Whoa.
Go on.
Yeah, can I give you some shit?
Exactly. My coach of the year is, of course,
Is that a violin you're playing there, Phil?
It is actually, yeah. I'm sharpening my nails so I can get used to playing at the weekend when I'm thinking about the 49ers.
To a Super Bowl ever. Anyway, so yeah, my coach of the year is, I think, someone who everybody, no matter who they're affiliated with in the NFL, has a bit of a soft spot for, shall I say. We definitely do on this podcast, and we were all pulling for him to basically give him that field goal, kick the field goal, and pip the Niners to the post in the NFC Championship game. But that was not to be. That is Detroit's Dan Campbell. He's going to be coach of the year.
I know you're a big fan of kicking it with Dan, Shane.
Well, aye.
It's going to be very close between the Dan Campbell and the Miko Ryans. I'm going to throw another. I'm going to throw another hat into the ring. Another team that shouldn't have been anywhere near the playoffs. Their MVP quarterback left last season to play 4 snaps for another Green team called New York. I'm going for Matt LaFleur. I think that Green Bay team is brilliant. The second half of the season, they turned it around with that young offensive team. Fair play to him. He's done absolutely brilliant. I've gone for Matt LaFleur as the coach of the year.
I'm surprised nobody's put Stefanski in the mix, to be honest.
I was, and then they got Texaned. They got
Is that an official thing now to get Texaned?
Yeah, they got Texaned.
I like that.
I think a lot of people are going to get Texan next year.
Yeah, I can see, including us. We've got them next year.
I mean, you're also going to get 9 next year, Ollie. So
we're gonna get. No, well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Our fixture sheet is awful. Bills away, Chiefs away, Eagles away. Oh my God! Good luck.
Niners have the second easiest home schedule next year,
How's that?
and like the 18th easiest away schedule.
That makes sense.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we will be putting all these awards up to vote on our Twitter.
Are we not doing assistant coach of the year?
Nah, that's not a portable.
Mike McDonald. There you go.
Steve
I
Wilkes.
was,
We
but
all
we've not done it.
we all know how much I love Steve Wilkes.
He would be mine. So yeah, all these will be up on our Twitter tomorrow for you to vote. The vote will close on Wednesday. We will announce our award winners that you guys vote for on Thursday night on our Thursday show. We will not be back on Monday. We are having a Monday off, but we will be still having 3 shows next week. We'll have a Thursday,
Really?
we'll have a Sunday, and a Monday. Yeah, pre-Super Bowl.
Are we really? Oh, that's nice. I'll make sure I say so with you.
We did do that last year too.
I
can't remember last week. Mine last year.
I'm just tempted to let the 9 or 2 do it, and we'll just go to the pub and get pissed, mate.
Sound bad, no worries at all. But we got to be objective. We got to be objective, haven't we? We got to give two sides of the argument. As much as I hate to do it.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you very much for joining in, watching us, listening to our rants and raves. I know for the first 10 minutes there was nothing to do with football, but that's just us. So until next week, next Thursday at 8:30, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe.